Alright, before all of y'all come into this video and comment something like, only people with no soul would say something like this. Just remember, please, just hear me out and let me cook, man. So, for my entire life, the concept of money has always been something so relevant in my mind. Whether it was like counting, learning how to count in elementary school using dollars and cents, or getting that first paycheck from my first job at the catering place, and I blew it all on some clothes that I don't even have anymore. Really, money and finances have played a huge part in all of our lives, and in a way, money kind of confines our life. And I know that that's not 100% true, but the basis of it is fucking facts. If you have money, you can do more stuff than if you didn't. And if you wanted to have this great luxurious meal, that would cost money. And if you wanted to travel to a different country, that costs money. Really, money can limit what we do. And on the flip side, living life solely focused on money seems like something straight out of a nightmare. But what hit me is that we are actually living this fucking nightmare, and it is true. And really, the odds are, if you're watching this video and you're in your 20s, you are probably working, you probably have a job. Whether that's a corporate slop job like myself or you're working some blue collar shit, you are sacrificing your precious time for money. And this brings up the core point of this video that I'm trying to make, and then I'm curious what you guys think about this in particular. Because nowadays, especially online, there's this trend going on where people will clown you for doing something solely for money. So for an example, like if your buddies were like, yo, I would give you $40 to go do some dumb shit, like, I don't know, take off your shirt in a Walmart and scream or something stupid like that. And if you did that, those same people would say, wow, bro, you would do anything for money. It's crazy though, because aren't we already doing that? I mean, really, if you think about it, who in their right mind wants to work for a corporation who doesn't care about them and it's full of politics? I don't know, man. I kind of digress. And my point is, maybe doing something solely for the money shouldn't be so frowned upon nowadays. So with that concept in mind, I kind of want to explore this idea that you guys might be able to relate to. And this idea initially came into my mind because for the longest time, one of my goals, I mean, it still kind of is one of my goals, is to be monetized on YouTube. For one thing, I wanted to prove to myself that I can do anything. And before that, I would have thought this was impossible. I mean, you know how hard it is to get monetized on YouTube? It's fucking hard, man. Like, I've been on YouTube for over 10 years and I got like 620 subscribers. But this idea then came to me. It came into my mind that I wanted also, on top of getting 100 or getting 1,000 subscribers, I wanted to get monetized. And I wanted this because I wanted some sort of side income away from my corporate day job and doing something that I actually genuinely enjoy, not just, ripping on Excel spreadsheets. And for the most part, I genuinely enjoy making videos. But on the flip side, man, trying to fucking appease this algorithm is like the complete and total opposite of fun. I feel like a part of me is selling my soul and I'm selling out to this algorithm, and it's taking away from the message in my product of what I'm trying to deliver. And really what I'm trying to deliver is just like, I don't know, if someone's related to anything that I can say, creating a community for them. But really, I mean, my content maybe I just sucks. I'm not sure. That could be valid, but I wanted to get monetized so I can make some extra money. And my initial reaction when I listened to myself say that, it really kind of sounded douchey. Like, hey, I'm only making YouTube videos for the money. And that sounds douchey, but at its core, I wonder why. I wonder to myself, why is it really that bad as how I think it sounds? Because I think it sounds pretty douchey, but maybe it's not. Maybe I'm living in a tripping world, but that's kind of like the premise of this video. And maybe it's because it's an object, right? Money is an object, and it could be considered more than that. And why if you're being motivated by money compared to, you're motivated by other stuff, why is being motivated by money, why is that treated differently, or is it's kind of like judged different than other kinds of motivators? And I have this example in my mind. So, right, if someone wants to become like the best sports player in the world and because they love to win, we wouldn't really bat an eye at that. I mean, that person wants to win, good for them. They have this quote unquote competitive spirit, But if that same person was like, I want to be the best sports player, I want to be the best basketball player of all time so I can make a bunch of money, like you would look at them really weird. You're like, why would you go into basketball if you wanted to make so much money? It's like way different. That second example is way different than that first example, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. But if I was like, I only do YouTube because I want to change the world. Okay, that's my motivation. But I only want to do YouTube because I want to make money. You would get two different reactions from that, and I don't understand why. Do we as a society assume that the second person is greedy because they want to make more money? But if that is that first person greedy because they want to be the best? Are they taking opportunities away from other people from being the best? I don't know. And I don't think there's a concrete answer, and I don't think it would make sense to say it's black or white because it's clearly not. And I don't want the point of my video is to be like yapping about why money is the best thing on earth. Rather, I think I want this conversation on why does money have such a negative connotation if you're just doing stuff straight for money? Like I said in the example, like working, that doesn't have a negative connotation, but the only reason you're working is for money. Let me know what you guys think. And not to be too political or anything like that, but would you say someone who is like really, really, really in line with their faith and super religious, would you say they were greedy because everything in their life they do is for their God above, the God that they believe in? No, you wouldn't. You would say, okay, that's the religion, that's what they believe in, that's so valid. But like back to the money example, it's like, wow, that guy is so greedy. And I'm trying to uncover why that social like phenomenon, if you want to call it, why that is. But another point I also want to highlight is this whole thing of like money can't buy happiness, which I think at its core is very, very true. Like you can have the nicest car, go on the coolest trips, or have the hottest wife or whatever, but when you go to bed alone at night, these monetary values don't matter. You're still alone. You're still not happy. So I believe that money does not buy happiness, but I believe money does something even more than that. I think money can give us an opportunity to experience life and unlock new stuff, unlock new levels. I say levels to like kind of compare life to a video game, right? When you have no money and you're broke, right? Your playable area, the area of your game is so limited. You can't go far. You can't try new things. You're very, very restricted to what you can and can't do, and you're restricted to like a routine. And I also want to kind of reiterate, or maybe just say this for the first time, but that is not a bad thing. If that's what you want to do, go right ahead. Like, I think that is so valid. There's nothing wrong to that because it takes so much to even be in that position to care for other people, to do that kind of thing, to have that small playable area. But I'm saying having money unlocks new area if you want to do that. And when you and I finally start to save money and have that actually like that real disposable income, the levels in your video game life, they start to expand and you get more playable areas, how I think of it. Like if you're playing Skyrim, imagine you only were in like Whiterun or something. You couldn't go beyond that. You were very, very stuck to that town because you didn't have enough coins. But now you got hella coins. You can go to the other villages. I forget the names. You can go kill dragons or whatever. But in real life, once you have that disposable income, you can expand and start to unlock like DLCs. You have the ability. That is the thing I want to highlight. You have the ability to do different stuff. And I think that ability it gives us like peace of mind, and that is really priceless, having peace of mind, really. And in some aspects, it is freedom having that money. I think to like before I had my driver's license, or before you had your driver's license in your own car or whatnot, we were limited to where we could go in our cities. You could walk, you could bike, you could take the bus, you had to get rides from your parents. But once you got that license, man, your explorable area like opens up like hella, like 10 times, man. Now you have your license, you can drive to different towns, you can be self-sufficient, you can have that freedom. And I also got to give a shout out, man, while I'm on here, is I got to shout out traveling, because that is the best way to level up in real life. You gain that IRL XP, those experience points, and expands your mind and your playable map. I think back to even just like the beginning of this year, I was blessed to have a job out of college that I work for only for the money. Let's be honest. I work at a job for the money only, and that doesn't get frowned upon. That's why I'm making this video. I'm just so curious why, that is good, or that is good, but other parts are bad. Anyways, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but I was able to travel earlier this year to Asia, and if you know me at all, if you don't know me, I'm from the Midwest of the United States, and Asia is like completely different world over there, man. It's so different, so culturally different. The food is amazing. This is like back to the video games thing. This is like unlocking a whole new DLC, man. This is like that Skyrim DLC where you have your base map and then you go to the other island and you like fight the orcs or whatever. Everything was so different, but I was able to experience a brand new culture because of the money that I had. I'll get off my side tangent for now, but man, if you can travel, highly recommend it. And one of the craziest things that I think about every day, maybe not every day, but most of my days, is that how does money, the danger of money, right? Of not doing stuff for money or doing everything for money, that danger of not doing anything. So let me explain. Really to flip this whole video on its head maybe, but it's so interesting to think about. Or like, what if we didn't do stuff for money? What if we had no money? Could we live a fulfilling life without that? I would say, duh. Like, why are you even asking that question? Because, you know, humans, we need fulfillment. I think from relationships and making positive differences and impacts. I think that kind of thing is really how we get fulfillment in life, not fucking monetary stuff. But I do think also the real danger isn't making money. Duh, we all need money. We all need to make money. But the real danger is sacrificing everything in your life. So much time. If you were working 24 hours of a day, you're sacrificing your entire life, like where we can't even live. If we spent all of our waking hours working for this money, it would be like those fool people, those investment bankers, man. They work too much and they get paid. That's a joke, but we would be foolish, and we would be really a modern day wage slave if we were working all the time just for money, because we wouldn't have the time to really experience using our money to live an enjoyable life and feel that freedom and that fulfillment. We wouldn't have time to build relationships and make those positive changes, like I mentioned before, in the world, because we would be so tunnel visioned, just looking at making money. What can I do to make money? How can I be efficient in making money? How can I cut costs to make even more money? That kind of thing. If we're chasing a bag, eventually we would really start to neglect a lot of important things in our life. We would neglect our family, our lovers, our health. Even you'd stop going to the gym because you want to make more money. Even you would stop paying attention, and you would neglect even ourselves to chase this fucking bag. But maybe there isn't a right answer, and it's like most other things in life, it's really just a balance of getting money to have freedom, but you also need to have freedom to pursue what you love. Hey, but if you made it this far in the video, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comment below. Thank you so much for 600 subscribers, road to 700. And thank you everybody for watching once again, and peace.